Namaskar friends, so how are you all? Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I am going to tell you a story on a different Diwali. It is about a story on a Diwali, how the children nicely celebrated it. So let's start. Alok, he was a boy. He watched Chinema scrape the coconuts. After Chinema finished, she always gave him a little coconut, very small coconut to eat. But today, Chinema was crying. Every once in a while, she dabbed her eyes with the end of a faded sari. And she was dabbing her faded sari so much that it got faded. Why are you crying, Chinema? Alok asked. Nothing, Baba, child. Nothing, said Chinema, getting up to put the plate away of grated coconut. Aren't you going to give me some coconut to eat? Asked Alok anxiously. So friends, when your parents are sad for something and they forget something, you always ask anxiously, "What? Why are you so sad?" That is the reason. Oh yes, I forgot, said Chinema, popping some into his waiting mouth. She smiled faintly. And she's sad, but she's acting to smile. It was only when Mummy came that Chinema told them the cause of her grief. There had been explosion at the cracker factory when my children woke, Amma. 7 children died. She was sobbing openly now. My son, he managed to run out, but my little girl? Alok did not want to hear more. He could not bear it. His hand flew to cover his ears. Through them he heard her muffled voice continue. Muffled means he closed his ears so he could not hear properly. So he heard it muffled. Voice continue. She was saved. Her hands are badly burned. The cracker she was packing it, that exploded in her hands. So friends, think she was you. You would have hurted badly yourself. So I'm sorry for her. When I read this part, I almost cried. Alok lowered his hands from his ears in relief. At least it was not he feared. She was not dead. He knew Chinema's daughter. Until last year, she used to come with her mother on Sundays. Then when Chinema went to a village in summer, she came back without the girl. He remembered Mummy scolding her. Why did you stop her studies and leave her there? Chinema had replied, Amma. So Chinema calls Alok's mother Amma. Amma, we have to repay the loan we took to repair our house. They pay well at the factory. So friends, they basically live in Delhi. Many children work from the village and work there. Besides, her brother is also working there. He will keep an eye on her. Mummy had been quite annoyed with Chinema. Now the little girl was hurt. Where is she now? Asked Mummy. In hospital. The doctor says she needs very expensive medicines. How much more money can I borrow from people? Chinema sounded so helpless. She was crying very much. Alok felt that he had to do something to help her. He saw Mama press some money into Chinema's hand and suddenly he had an idea. He ran up to his room and felt inside the old wallet. The wallet was very old that Papa has given to let him have. His fingers pulled out a 100-rupee note. Papa had given it him to buy crackers for Diwali. He held it for a minute because he was thinking, Do you spend it or I spend it for my cracker? He was very confused, but then he realized that I should give to Chinamma. I'll be honest. So he pulled out the 100 rupee note Papa has given him to buy crackers for Diwali. He held it for a minute, then he ran down and handed the note to Chinamma. Take this, he said, for your daughter's medicines. Chinamma was moved. She would not accept the money till Alok's mother persuaded her to do so. When she left, his mother hugged Alok and said, "That was very sweet of you, darling. It is only 100 rupees, Mummy. It will not be enough. I wish I could give her more," said Alok sadly. "Yes," nodded his mother with a sigh. "So do I, but it is Diwali and we have many expenses. It is difficult to spare more. Anyway, we did the best we could." So Alok's mother was also feeling very sad for Chinamma. Alok was not satisfied. The image of poor Chinamma crying kept troubling him. In the park that evening, all the children were discussing Chinamma's daughter's accident. So, see friends, here the children are discussing. They all felt sorry for Chinamma. They were all fond of her. She had been working in the colony for many years. And most of the children knew her since they were toddlers. Seeing everyone's concern, Alok suddenly knew what they could do. "Listen," he said, "what if we all pool in the money our parents gave us to buy crackers and give it all to Chinamma for doctor's treatment? I already gave her my cracker money. It is not enough." His idea was greeted by silence. "You mean instead of buying crackers, we should give her the money?" asked Deepa doubtfully. "Exactly," said Alok. "What fun is Diwali without crackers?" objected Deepak. "How can we have fun when that poor girl is lying in hospital? Besides, there's no more to Diwali than crackers," replied Alok. There's more to Diwali than crackers." "Three cheers for the mater," mocked Deepak. "Don't be nasty, Deepak," rebuked Roshan. "I think Alok's idea is a brilliant one." Everybody fell silent. Roshan was the eldest among them. They usually went along with whatever he said. "After all," continued Roshan, "we are partly responsible for what happened to Chinamma's daughter." "How is that?" asked Jyoti, puzzled. "Look at it in this way," explained Roshan. "If no one bought crackers, there wouldn't be any need for cracker factories. The question of anyone getting injured will not arise." "I love crackers," wailed Chirag. "Besides," persist Roshan, "think of how often Chinamma has helped us in the past." "Yes," admitted Chirag. "Last year during my mummy's operation, she came and stayed with me. And the time the mad dog chased me on the way to school, she didn't even bother about herself. She came running to save me from the beast," remonstrated Deepa. "Can't we do at least this much for her? Sacrifice a few crackers," pressed Alok, seeing that everyone was beginning to have a change of heart. "Yes, and what are crackers anyway? Just causing air noise pollution, leaving the streets dirty," opined Jyoti. She secretly liked the plan for quite another reason. She was terrified of crackers. "Not to mention the injuries they cause," added Roshan. "Injuries caused when sometimes they blow crackers, they get injuries." "That is final then," declared Alok. "We will all bring our money tomorrow and give it to Chinamma." agreed, except Deepak, who stubbornly refused to understand how anyone could celebrate Diwali without crackers. The rest decided to ignore him and went home feeling strangely happy. The next evening, when Chinma walked past the park on her way home, the children called out to her. Roshan went up to her and handed her the bundle of money they had collected. It was almost 2,000 rupees. Chinma, take this for your daughter's treatment. All of us has collected it for you, he said. At first, Chinma refused to take the money. No, Baba, no. How can I take money from you children? She exclaimed in horror. Nothing the children said will convince her. Finally, it was left to Alok's mother to convince Chinma to accept the money. She looked at all of them with eyes full of tears as she took the money. God bless all of you, she said in a choked voice before hurrying on her way to home. The next few days passed quickly in a flurry of activity. Everybody was busy getting ready for Diwali, cleaning the house, preparing sweets, making rangolis. And then it was Diwali. All the families gathered into the park to celebrate it together. In the appreciation of what the children had done for Chinamma, their fathers had organized a gala evening. There was to be a magic show which the children were particularly looking forward to. As they waited for the show to begin, Jyoti suddenly said, "Look! Chinamma has brought her daughter!" Indeed, there hiding behind Chinamma's sari stood a little girl. Her hands were swathed in bandages, but she was smiling brightly. The children crowded around her. "How is she now?" "She's much better," replied Chinamma. "She has been discharged from the hospital. Thanks to you, children." Suddenly, to everybody's surprise, Deepak came up to the girl and handed her a lovely new doll. So friends, you can see this is Deepak here, and he handed the girl a lovely new doll, and this is Chinamma. "What is this, Deepak?" asked Roshan. "We thought you would be busy lighting your crackers." "I changed my mind," said Deepak sheepishly. "It is not much playing with them alone. Anyway, Chinamma's daughter admired her new doll. It was difficult to decide what shone the brightest that evening. The joy on Chinamma's face, the beaming faces of the children, or the pride in their parents' eyes. One thing was certain, through the magician later said, "In the whole of Delhi, there isn't a colony that glows brighter than this Diwali as this one." The poet of this story is Titi Tavora. Who is Titi Tavora now? She is from 1960 to 1998. Was born in Pune in 1960 to Bengali parents. After completing her medical studies, Titi worked as Marin Stopes Clinic in New Delhi. In 1987, Titi moved to Goa and set up her clinic in Panjim. She also worked at the Goa Cancer Society Hospital in Panjim, and with her husband regularly visited the Peace Haven, a home in Kraslim for the mentally challenged. She is well known for her short stories and poems, as well as her love and concern for elderly, sick and poor people. Namaskar friends, thanks for watching my video.